begin with this. Former murder-accused Mandla Msibi has been appointed as a Cooperative Governance MEC in Mpumalanga. He takes the reins from Mandla Ndlovu. Charges against Msibi have been provisionally withdrawn. Mpumalanga Premier Refilwe Mtshweni-Tsipane announced her new cabinet earlier today. She says the aim is to accelerate service delivery in the province. eNCA's Pule Letshwiti-Jones is following that story for us and joins us for the very latest around those details. A very interesting development in his appointment, Pule. So I'm sure there have been a lot of criticism that's coming out of this appointment and the decision made by the Premier to have him part of her team. What is happening on the ground in terms of engagements around his appointment?
Well, we yet to receive any form of statements or, feedback from the opposition parties and from the streets as well. But we understand that the Mpumalanga Premier has expressed her confidence and, of course, said that these are competent, MEC leaders who have been elected to run their different portfolios. And you're right to say one of those is Mr. Mandla Msibi, who will be heading the COCTA portfolio. Mr. Mandla Ndlovu will be heading the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport. And you got also coming in fresh legs coming into the department. You have Mr. Mandla Ndlovu, who will be heading the finance portfolio as well. These are all MECs who are coming in to head these departments. But not to waste any time, I'm joined by Mr. Msibi himself, who we will be talking to just now. He's going to be expressing himself and speaking to us regarding this appointment. Mr. Msibi, thank you very much for joining us on eNCA this afternoon. Now, perhaps maybe if we can just start with this, election. You're now coming in as the MEC of COCTA. Was this a surprise for you?
No, thanks for the opportunity and to your viewers at home. Well, it's not a surprise. We're always ready to serve wherever the ANC sends us to serve, and wherever incumbent or deployed in government request us to come and serve, always ready to serve.
Now, let's talk about the charges which were withdrawn as well, which of course are linked to the two murders which were accused of. Now you're coming in this portfolio, you're going to be serving the community members, you're heading the COCTA department. However, there's still a stigma to your name. Do you think you can work well in hand with the community members?
I don't know if it's a stigma, because there's justice in South Africa. And when you charge a person is innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. So the justice system, the NPA itself, the one who charged people, withdrawn the cases. And we've been saying all along that these cases are malicious, we've done nothing. And after 11 months, they themselves withdrawn. It's not even us who requested that they withdraw. It's not even the justice system. It's NPA withdrawn the cases.
So you think you can be an effective MEC?
I've been an effective MEC before. I'm effective in any endeavor when being deployed.
You've also, while they accused some of ANC members saying they were trying to use this case to politically purge you as well, are you still maintaining that statement?
Yes, I maintain it. I maintain it. I said in my statement when I came out with the bill, I said, I'm prepared to prove the officials of the ANC. Yes, I stand by it. There are individuals in the ANC who see some kind of competition, I don't know what was the other reason, and felt that they should do these things.
Do you fear for your life?
I don't fear for life, because there are two things in life, life and death. At some point I'm going to die, so I can't fear for the eventuality.
Just there, sticking to the ANC part, do you still support, or are you going to be supporting the former president, Didi Mabuza, ahead of his campaign for Nasrec as well?
In Nasrec, it was a different case scenario altogether. We were supporting him to be a deputy president of the ANC in Nasrec. Now, you'll understand and appreciate that in the province, the Provincial Executive Committee has pronounced itself to support the current incumbent to be president and Comrade Ronald Lamula. I've said it, remember, I just came back. My case finished on the 5th. I said during my trials in the case, I'm not part of those discussions, I was not there. I'm going to make my mind who I support, and I'm going to support any individual who stick to the ideological outlook of the ANC, which is a disciplined force of the left, and with the two motive forces, the poor and the working class. That's the incumbent that I'm going to support to be a president.
Okay. So maybe just back to municipal stuff again. COCTA is a very important department you'll be heading in the province. The AG on numerous occasions has flagged some municipalities which are dysfunctional in this province as well. How are you going to be looking at reviving some of those municipalities with your team, especially looking at the importance of this department as well, which looks at feeding some of these municipalities with stability and ensuring that they function properly?
Look, we once led COCTA, if you remember very well, before the premier deployed us to agriculture. So we're coming back to square one, but remember, Honorable Shiba and Honorable Ndlovu were doing the work. So we'll take where they've done. But speaking to the AG matter, it's a serious matter of concern which we're going to work together with the mayors and all municipal administrators and all deployees to the municipalities also elected to ensure that we deal with issues of good governance and prudent financial management. But moreover, we must help our municipality to request the community to pay for their services. Because one of the major challenges our municipalities are facing is that people are not paying for their services, and therefore they can't be able to run the institution properly.
Would you admit that corruption has ripped through some of these municipalities in this province?
Well, there are allegations in most cases. When I was an MEC for COCTA, there were a lot of allegations. When you go to the ground, those who allege, because he who alleges or who she alleges must prove. When you go down and say, here's an investigation, go and present, people are no longer coming to present the case. So in most cases, it's most perceptions of corruption. But we are going to work with mayors, as I've said, to ensure that, and municipal managers and our HOTs and our team, that we stick to prudent financial management in municipalities.
What have you identified as critical in this portfolio you'll be heading right now?
If I did what, I'm sorry?
What have you identified as a critical issue that you may have to resolve when coming into this department?
No, one matter that we have to help our municipalities, of course, I've said, is the revenue enhancement, as I've said. But two is good governance. And then the matter which affect our municipalities is that people are invading land en masse. People just see a land dormant without them knowing they get into the land. And our municipalities plans through the community-based planning and the IDPs. So by the time they finish with the IDPs, there are other people who have encroached areas, and then they tamper with the infrastructure on the ground and even electrical poles. So it's a matter which we have to deal with the mayor. Each and every mayor must be able to deal with his or her space to ensure that those who are doing illegal things like selling of land are being protected, because we can't have a country which is run like a banana republic.
And just lastly, you were, once accused of colluding with the CFO from the Department of Agriculture in this province as well, sending each other emails, but you've also claimed that this were just defamatory elements of trying to tarnish your name. Do you still maintain that as well?
You see, it's a separate matter. That matter is dealing with my legal team. I was shocked because I stepped aside voluntarily. And one day I got a call through my lawyers that the lawyer of Mr. Mapolo, they are requesting to see me through my lawyer. We then went there, and we discovered that we were in the books. Firstly, they fabricated or they created a Gmail that I don't even know. My Gmail is mandla@gmail.com. That Gmail that they've created says mandla@comrade.msibi. And we got the document, we read, and they said, one, I've got a house, and the rest, I don't own a house in town. I'm staying in Pinar, in my Ward 2. Secondly, they said, I got information from the CFO, which is not true. But the matter with the legal team is dealing with what? And we're going to take people into serious task. Just watch the space.
Mr. Msibi, thank you very much for joining us, and all the best with heading your portfolio as well as the MEC of COCTA.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, Refilwe, that's Mr. Mandla Msibi there, who is elected to now be, heading that portfolio for COCTA. He believes that he will do all he can to do what's right, but of course there's still challenges that he encounters, particularly with those that were, targeting at his reputation as well. But he believes that he will be able to revive that and ensure that he works well with the community.
And of course we will, as residents of this country and those communities there in Mpumalanga, hold him to account as he carries out those duties. Thank you very much, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, bringing us that interview with the MEC Mandla Msibi.